last month as President Trump and his administration began reimposing economic sanctions on Iran. A new report said state-backed hackers began to break into the personal email accounts of U.S. officials and nuclear experts. The Associated Press report is based on data gathered by the London-based cybersecurity group CERTFA. It tracked the hacking group nicknamed Charming Kitten. The group carried out attacks using phishing attacks, targeting more than a dozen U.S. Treasury officials, high-profile people involved in the nuclear deal, U.S. defense companies, Arab atomic scientists, D.C. think tank employees, and even some Iranians. CNET senior producer Dan Patterson joins me now to talk about this. So how was the AP and CERTFA, am I saying that right?
Yeah, CERTFA.
Able to determine that these hackers were backed by the Iranian government?
Well, I want to lead here with the refrain we say all the time in cyber, which is that attribution is really, really hard because the forensics of which packets are sent where can be a little funky, and there are a lot of ways to hide. In this case, it looks as though some of the Iranian hackers did kind of a poor job of hiding themselves. Many IP addresses, according to the AP reporting, went back to Iranian IPs, and it seems as though they left a server open where the organization where CERTFA was able to gather intel on what email addresses they targeted and how their tactical operations kind of interoperated with the Iranian government.
So the use of phishing, we talk about this all the time, Dan.
All the time.
Phishing is so, like, many companies get these like phishing tests where they try to test employees even after we go through all the training. And inevitably there are people who click on the link and the IT guys go, hey, you're not supposed to click on this. You're supposed to forward it to an IT professional. Why are people who are supposedly very smart, atomic scientists, getting caught out there with phishing?
Hey, look, phishing is something that can happen to all of us, no matter how intelligent we are. Or in my case, may be very gullible because sometimes I want to click on those links just like everyone else. Right. And at the end of the day, I had this fascinating conversation with a woman yesterday who talked about all of these advances in technology, particularly when it comes to machine learning and artificial intelligence, are really just to optimize phishing. So although the thing that you click on might come to your email, the way they target you, the way they use language, all of that is very, very sophisticated. And when we see spear phishing attacks, like what happened here, that stuff, Vlad, it would be almost impossible for you to tell the difference between that and, say, a J.Crew email or any other email that comes to your inbox that looks like it is legitimate.
So the sophistication is not the fish. The sophistication is how they figure out who you are and how to target you.
That's exactly right. It is the endpoint, the email that you get is only the expression of a bunch of technology on the back end that's refining that email and making it more target. And maybe not just one email, but many emails sent in a sequence to you, right? So, all right, you didn't click one. Maybe you'll click another, and we're kind of figuring out from your behavior and your life online, we're gathering data, and we're using different patterns to figure out how and why we might be able to trick you into giving up information that allows us to dig into your life and find out, in this case, what the Iranians wanted to know about the nuclear program.
And finally, what does this list of high-profile targets tell you about what they're trying to learn?
It tells us a few things. One, that they want to learn about how communication is happening behind the scenes and maybe what might happen with various forms of punishments that the U.S. may dole out. This is also a tactic, though, that we're seeing other nation states use. In 2014, it was alleged that China had a list of everyone who had a security clearance in the United States and was also phishing them and trying to learn kind of the same thing, not just about how these particular sanctions may or may not work, but how we operate here in the United States and the different types of conversations that are happening between different organizations and different security groups here.
Really fascinating. Dan Patterson, always great to have you. Thank you, sir.
You too.